you guys are racist and misogynist and homophobic and bigoted.
Well,
and
I want to be invited on the Nelk Boys. Let's not start ruining this. I'm trying to build
You're
bridges.
not calling them pussies. I'm calling them pussies. And I'll go on the Nelk Boys if I can fight them.
Hey, everybody. I'm Tim Miller.
I'm Cameron Kasky, and this is FYPod, the young people show here at the Bulwark. And we are going to jump right into it this week because of how much fucking time we wasted for our audience with that interview we had Saturday with a mayoral candidate who, when asked about ICE raids in his city, said, "We don't need that energy."
Well, I don't need that energy, Cameron, and I don't need your energy negging that very thoughtful conversation we had with the police union chief of Grand Theft Auto. And I got to tell you, we got a good one coming this week. So there's a lot of positive energy. But so we're to keep it serious today, though. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, no. After our Saturday interview with the soon-to-be mayor of Tampa, who pitched himself as an esports manager, we're going to talk about the real issues today. And the first one, and not to be the first people to talk about the Trump Epstein stuff, is my question for you, because I like to take your takes on stuff and steal them when I'm going on other people's shows.
Great, I love that.
For a minute, we thought that Epstein civil war was going to deal a serious blow to MAGA, but now I'm not so sure anymore. Do you think they just kind of shrug it off and go, okay, maybe he was a pedophile, who knows?
I mean, it depends what you mean by MAGA, right? So yeah, is Benny Johnson and his really hot YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way. If the fact that we're getting swamped by Benny Johnson, the plagiarist, the former secret homosexual that now just does AI slop is a bad. So please subscribe to both the Bulwark feed and the FYPod feed to help us with our integrity.
Leave a comment down below on whether you think the Trump world is going to be able to get past the pedophile little art drawings that Donald did. But I think what you're about to say is there's a difference between institutional MAGA and far-right conspiracy world.
Yeah, and I also would say two other worlds. Institutional MAGA, those guys will be for it. But far-right conspiracy world, which I would call Tucker, Candace, Alex Jones, kind of that orbit, I don't think this is going to work on them. And then soft MAGA, which is comedian bro world, I don't think this is going to work on that. So I think that they've got real problems in kind of two of his core demos. One thing that worked for Trump was there's a phrase called, I forget who I'm stealing this from, called the crank alignment. Back in the old days, there were leftist cranks and right-wing cranks, conspiracists of all types. But Trump really kind of brought all the conspiracy theorists under one umbrella. And I feel like he's breaking that up. And so that's great. We might get I want to get some cranks back on our side.
I mean, Epstein is almost the ultimate conspiracy. He is getting normal people, totally reasonable people, saying, hey, this giant pedophile island that the elites seem to want us to stop talking about, and the mysterious suicide that even with the footage that got released to prove that he killed himself, there was some time missing from the footage. Normal people are concerned about Epstein. Neo-Nazis are thrilled, right? Because secret island for pedophiles, that is what they say the Jews do. And that's what they've been saying the Jews do. So the fact that it's Epstein, you've got the neo-Nazis happy. You've got normal people asking real questions about it.
My friend's dad said, he told me at the bar this week, and he's like, my dad called me and asked me what I think about the missing minutes from Epstein. And I think he killed himself. and he's like, my dad is just a regular, finance dad who watches, some Nicole Wallace. I was like, all right, now we're cooking.
It's just so strange. I don't really know what to say about all of it, but I do want to play a clip right now of Speaker of the House and want to be charismatic person Mike Johnson addressing the Epstein situation on Fox News.
Oh, exciting.
We have a lot to run on, and you have a lot to run against, given the other party. But I will tell you this, we better be united, we better be strong, we better be focused, we better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on. I've about had it with all that stuff.
That's
we better
suspicious.
focus on who we are, what we're doing, where we want to take the country, and what they want to do to the country. Mr. Speaker, God bless you, my friend. I appreciate you very, very much.
You too, Mark. Thanks for all you do. God bless.
Boy, Mark Levin, that's a little suspicious. Mark Levin doesn't want to focus on Epstein. I wonder if he's ever been to Little St. Jeff's Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Did you see fucking Stephen King's tweet where Stephen King was like, yeah, the Tooth Fairy is fake, and so are the Epstein files. And everybody was quote tweeting it with person who is not friends with Jeffrey Epstein would say. And I'm not saying that Stephen King is, but I'm like, Stephen King, why the fuck are you saying the Epstein files are fake? What do you have to gain from that, dude? Don't you have 6 books a year to write?
The Mark Levin thing, I got to tell you, it's been pretty. Like Tucker Carlson hates that guy. Like you turn on the
Why?
Tucker Carlson, Mark Levin is like. I was like, well, it's not anymore. We haven't mentioned Luigi in a while. I was going to say the Luigi of this show. To the Tucker Carlson show, he just like randomly throws out strays at Mark Levin all the time. I don't know. I don't know. That internal
Were they
MAGA
at, were they at
feud.
Fox
He's a
at the same time?
neocon. Yeah, they were at Fox at the same time. And Mark Levin's more of like a neocon, kind of MAGA. And obviously Tucker is like now into the full isolationist MAGA. Anyway, look, those guys will get in line. That little crew, Little Mike's going to get a little pat on the head, and it's not like he's going to be doing any investigations into those FBI. I don't know. Did you see the story about how the FBI was told to like flag anytime Trump was mentioned in the Epstein files? There was an internal document. And so it's not like Mike Johnson's going to be trying to get to the bottom of that. I do think, though, the outside game is a problem. The clip I have for you was our boy Shane Gillis, who... I don't even, for viewers who don't know who Shane is, it's hard to kind of peg him. He hangs out with the MAGA bro crowd, but like he never really was. He sort of codes like one, but he never really was one. But it's
Conservatives
interesting.
love Shane Gillis. He's
exactly.
anti-woke. Again, was definitely never explicitly like, ooh, make America great again. But he's a comedian for the conservative world. He's just
for sure
like Tim Dillon, the rare comedian for the conservative world that's actually funny.
That's true.
And you sent me a clip of him on the podcast talking about the Democrats playing reverse Uno. Dante, can you throw that up?
Jeffrey Epstein. Huge fault line in the Republican Party. Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, shout out to the Republicans or the Democrats for hitting the reverse.
It's true. They got the reverse Uno
They
card.
hit the reverse Uno. They go, actually, your problem, and we support it now.
True.
Yeah, the real one's staying true to. Can we at least figure out what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, that's again. The first of all is like he pretty much got busted by the United States court for molesting young girls in a
Florida.
way, commercializing.
Enough that the cops in Florida were going. Obviously, he was intelligence because they dropped the case.
Yes,
they brought it to a grand jury. They
sealed it.
Come on,
sealed the records, which should be illegal. If you're molesting young girls, no matter what, they should go, yeah, here's all the young girls. And they go, all right, man, let's throw that guy in a fucking tar pit and get rid of him.
If you're molesting young girls, they should go bust that thing wide open.
That's what I'm saying.
The guy who spoke at the end, he's got a great voice. I don't know why they didn't let him on camera. The MAGA pod bros, I think, Andrew Schultz as well, whose politics at this point are so confusing because he went from Make America Great Again to Zoran is the America First candidate.
Right.
So I'm just going to let him vibe out and hang out with Pete Buttigieg some more and shave that fucking ugly mustache. But the MAGA bros, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to all of this. That brings me to the other MAGA bros I want to
just
talk
really
about
quick
this
on. Can I do one thing on Shane? The real ones. How you notice how he said that there? That one little line, like the real ones are going to keep trying to figure out what happens. Something to that effect. Like this is why Trump is so fucked on this with those guys. Like because their whole shtick with their audience is like, the elites are fucking lying to you and the media's lying to you. And like, I'm just like a funny contrarian guy who'll tell you the truth. And like, obviously they're full of shit. And anytime they're full of shit, I'll point it out. And like, that's how I gain trust with you, the audience, right? Because you know that I'm going to make fun of the people that are bullshitting you and that are lying to you. And so they can't now turn around and be like, well, maybe it was Barack Hussein Obama, actually. Or like, maybe there was nothing to see here. Or maybe they can't do that because like their whole credibility with their audience is based on being a real one. And like the real ones know that like there's some shit here and Trump is associated with it, obviously. And so they're going to have to keep talking about it. And so I think Trump is just totally boned. That's why I think this does matter with that crowd and why
But there's also a lot of
so
people.
telling.
There's also a lot of people where Trump has just changed the goalposts and the degree to which we let him get away with certain things has just changed. So I have some normal people friends in my normal people group chats. who are saying like, look, this doesn't make Trump look good. And if he's involved with this Epstein stuff, I want it to come out. But I just don't think that the birthday note and the sketch and everything and Elon saying he's in the file, I don't think any of this is the smoking gun that we need to really knock him here. And I'm just like, oh my God, if that fucking note that Rupert Murdoch cleared to be released to people was written by Joe Biden, Democrats would be calling on him to get the fuck out, and Republicans would be calling on him to get shot in the back of the head, public execution style. But Trump is just literally cucked all of us into seeing something like the private birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein and being like, well, it isn't a video of him molesting children. And therefore, who can be sure that Donald, we have a lot in common, don't we, Jeff? Trump really did something like that.
Do you need to let me on those text chains? Do I need to start engaging with the normals and just start being like,
I do my
what
best.
do you think about Trump's other accusers? What do you think about Epstein's girlfriend that he brought back, Stacey Williams, that he brought to Trump Tower, then he molested her? Do we think that's a smoking gun or no?
If it's about someone like, if it was Doug Emhoff, it would be proof that he was molesting children with Epstein. And honestly, even if we did get the video of Trump doing that, a lot of people would just say that it was deep state AI. I don't know, but the point is Trump has changed the rule book. And if Biden had written that to Epstein, forget all of the other things that connect the two, he would not be hearing the end of it. Yeah. But with the time we have left, I want to talk about some other MAGA pod bros.
I like when you take charge.
Hell yeah, dog. Want to talk about some other MAGA pod bros. And another friend of MAGA, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu went on the Nelk Boys Full Send podcast, which was, comparable to the streamer Aiden Ross and Joe Rogan before he got randomly Democrat pilled within the past couple weeks. Nelk Boys are like a quintessential right-wing podcast. Naturally, they're a perfect fit for Benjamin Netanyahu to do Hasbara. Let's take a look.
It's so fucking weird that Bibi is on the Nelk Boys podcast.
I think you definitely have a tough job, but why do you think you're like so
they
hated?
Put on a jacket.
Well, a lot of propaganda. The Chancellor of Germany said Israel did the work for all of us, the new Chancellor of Germany, okay? Because those Iranian missiles were geared at Europe too, and ultimately at America. The question you have to ask is not why do they hate me or President Trump, is why don't they see reality? Why don't they see what's good for them? And the answer is most of them do if you tell them the facts. But how do you tell them the facts over TikTok?
I don't think it's the Iran thing. The main thing I just see is if I don't think people like if civilians are getting injured or killed.
We don't want it either.
What are their outfits?
Cut before he said we don't want it either. Let it be known on the record, Benjamin Netanyahu does not want civilians to be killed. Every single civilian casualty in Palestine has been an oops. When they bombed the church, that the Pope had to come out and give Netanyahu a call and say the slaughter needed to end. That was a total accident. Every civilian casualty in Palestine is an accident. Oops. Uh-oh. Whoops.
I'm sorry, Dante. I'm sorry to focus on the outfits, but Dante, could we just pull up intros just so people can look at it who aren't familiar with the Nelk Boys, what their usual fare is? I mean, these dudes are like multimillionaires and they bought their dads. They're wearing their dad's suits to go meet Bibi. They're like, oh, yes, sir, Mr. Bibi, sir. I've got to put on a fucking blue blazer to come and glaze you up. The whole thing is just, it's all so ridiculous. Like we were so through the looking glass.
Netanyahu's a crook. It's not just the international courts that want him tried for war crimes. It is also the state of Israel that is constantly going after him for his corruption, of which the state of Israel has been aware for many years. But Netanyahu, like Eric Adams, like Donald Trump, and like all those other guys, is a crook, and crooks look out for crooks, and crooks have each other's backs. There's so many things about Netanyahu that make me furious. The fact that, much like Hamas, he also depends on the Palestinian people suffering for him to gain his power. So many things that are so upsetting. But let's talk about one other thing. Trump and Netanyahu are almost definitely straight up lying to you about what happened in Iran and why a lot of people might be giving the right-wing nationalist United States and the right-wing nationalist state of Israel a bit too much credit. I did a little bit of research.
Whoa, Cameron. I love that you did research for this episode, but I've got good news first before we get to your rant. We have our first paid advertising sponsor.
Wow.
The people have monitored your content, Cameron, and they're like, "Fuck, I want to sponsor this. I want my brand to be associated with Cameron's brand, whatever that is, bisexuality and musicals, and overcoming gun tragedies." FYPod is sponsored by Mint Mobile. You know it doesn't belong in your epic summer plans, getting burned by your old wireless bill. Well, you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends. No 3-day weekends at the Bulwark, but other places. Your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. That's why so many people are making the switch to Mint Mobile. With Mint, you can get the coverage and speed you're used to, but for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. So your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges on their ugly phone bills. You'll be chilling. Literally and financially. How's your phone bill these days, Cameron? How you doing?
After hearing that, I'm going to throw my phone at the wall and let it shatter into pieces and then do whatever you just said.
Get the insurance from it? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to get the insurance? They've got high-speed data. I don't know if you know that. Unlimited talk and text. Do you have unlimited talk and text? I hope so, because you text me all the fucking time. Delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your old phone number along with all your existing contacts. That's exciting. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/FYPod. That's mintmobile.com/FYPod. An upfront payment of $45 is required, equivalent to $15 a month. This is a limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Boom. Mint Mobile. That could be it.
I'm so glad Mint Mobile lets you keep your existing contacts, because I'm not going to explain why, but I have Sean Spicer's phone number. Let's get back to it. So, as we all know, for 2 weeks, Israel fucking whacked Iranian nuclear sites, missile launchers, energy infrastructure, and they killed a lot of guys who were super important to the regime's nuclear plans. And of course, over 900 civilians in the process, according to Iran, which, who knows how trustworthy these sources are, but the state of Israel has a thing for killing civilians, so I believe it. And then Iran unloaded on Israel with tons of missiles, killed 29 civilians, and did some damage, but nothing to actual military sites. But we know what the state of Israel's real goal here was: getting the United States involved. Let's look at Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton came out and said, of course Netanyahu wants war with Iran, so then he can stay in power forever and ever and ever. So Israel hit plenty of nuclear targets, but there were 2 facilities in particular that even with their aerial supremacy, they couldn't reach. Iran's 2 largest nuclear enrichment plants in Natanz and Fordow, both very deep in mountains that shielded them from the aerial attack. So Israel came to us for our big, scary bunker buster bombs, so we could fuck up the underground mountain sites. And then as Ted Cruz accidentally leaked to Tucker Carlson, we got in on the fun. Operation Midnight Hammer, it was called, was one of the most complex missions in U.S. history. We flew 18 hours nonstop, refueling the planes in the fucking sky, which is crazy. Pretty wild. Once we pulled up to Iran, American nuclear submarines started firing Tomahawk cruise missiles at a nuclear site in Isfahan. We dropped over a dozen bunker busters in Natanz and Fordow. Remember those names, they're important, at around the same time. Really impressive military operation. And then we got a quote-unquote ceasefire, which was clearly to the disappointment of the state of Israel, which wanted the war to drag on as long as possible and for the U.S. to keep bombing Iran. But how much damage did we actually do to the nuclear programs? There's a lot of sites in Iran. Iran is fucking huge. It's the size of like the entire southwest United States. And we surely don't know about all of these sites. I don't consider the regime in the Islamic Republic of Iran to be the most transparent international partner, so I have a feeling they've got some secret stuff. And we didn't attack any of their uranium mines, so they can go ahead and continue mining, although there's a lot more to the process since only 0.7% of the uranium in nature is actually the type that you need to build bombs. Now, the only facility known in Iran that was capable of converting the mined uranium to the gaseous state that it's needed for the enrichment process was the one in Isfahan, which got absolutely rip-fucked by the state of Israel and the U.S. Tomahawk missiles. This likely crippled Iran's capability to convert uranium into gas for now, and it'll likely take years to repair that. Now, to continue the nuclear process, or whatever the fuck it's called, you need gas centrifuges to get it to the purity threshold considered to be weapons-grade uranium. And the two largest known enrichment sites were the aforementioned Natanz and Fordow that we bunker busted. These joints have literally like 20,000 centrifuges between the two of them. But the fate of what actually happened at these sites is somewhat contentious and being debated upon. The bunker busters are no joke because not only do they fuck shit up, they can send shockwaves through the mountains that fuck shit up even further. And Trump has repeatedly claimed that the Fordow site was completely obliterated by the attack. The day after the attack, a preliminary classified damage assessment report was leaked from the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Pentagon's agency, which reported that we had actually only set Iran's nuclear capabilities back by a few months, not a few years. And they likely maintain plenty of secret enrichment facilities that remain operational. Here is the bomb, no pun intended. While the bunker busters definitely fucked up plenty of Fordow's electric systems and collapsed its entrance tunnels, the main underground enrichment hull likely remained intact. Now, these sources were largely from satellite imagery and intercepted communications. Tulsi Gabbard says we really fucked them up. So do the Israeli agencies, whatever. I'm sure they're all telling the truth. But only a week before Israel popped the fuck off, inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency, UN agency, said Iran's probably got around 400 kilograms worth of highly enriched uranium that was pretty close to the 90% purity needed for a bomb. And, you know, what Iran has done here and what we've observed them doing, the IAEA has said this, is enriching the uranium to just right enough that they can probably make a bomb, but not going all the way so they can maintain plausible deniability. But they have enough right now to make 9 or 10 atomic bombs. And we don't know where this 400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium is. We saw from satellite imagery trucks at Fordow getting ready to bring that shit as far away from there as possible. Now, of course, the Trump administration denies this, but, you know, let's remember how trustworthy these slimy pieces of shit are. Everybody, when Trump and Netanyahu tell you that we actually fucked Iran's nuclear capacity, do not believe them. They probably already have enough to make a lot of atomic bombs and remain the threat that they are. Thanks for listening.
Well, I'm going to defer to your research and the experts' research on that. So I'm not 100% sure whether or not they're lying. I do know that he's lying about one thing, though, in that interview with the Nelk Boys. He was like, oh, well, the Germans know that they're doing the dirty work for us because they could come after Germany or they could come after the United States. He threw that in. So he's talking to the United States podcasters. Nobody, like not even the most extreme pro-Israel, anti-Iran, advocates on the internet. Not even like my biggest Zionist pals. Like not even the biggest advocates for like U.S. intervention. Nobody is like genuinely like, well, if we didn't do this, Iran was going to be bombing Miami any minute. Right? Like that is just like, that's an absurd suggestion. And like the fact that Bibi felt like he had to like throw that out there to these fucking idiots on this podcast, like just shows how desperate like the spin is on all of this, that you have to like even lean on that to try to get these pros to get on board. Well, my rant is like these guys. I just pulled up the New York Times article about these guys while you're doing the research dump on us. The subhead about them is known for their pranks, parties, and crude humor. The YouTubers are used to getting in trouble. And here's the thing, man. If a bunch of dudes want to be dudes and like do pranks and like do fucking, what's that shit?
Interviews with Donald Trump during the campaign and endorse Donald Trump.
No, I don't want them to do that. That's the opposite of the point, Cameron. If they want to vape, if they want to make jokes about people that are crude, like I'm for all that. I don't fucking care. Like if they want to do shock jock shit, if they like rip off Howard Stern from 1992 and like make that for the YouTube era, like that's cool with me. Like I'm fine with that. It's just like, why? How did we get to a world where these guys like put on their little Model UN suits and sit down with the Prime Minister of Israel, who's currently like simultaneously bombing 3 countries? And to talk to him about that. Like this is I would hope that the viewers of the Nelk Boys and all these guys would like have a little bit more self-respect and would be like, I would like to see somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about talk to Bibi Netanyahu, not these 2 guys.
There's this pro-IDF influencer named Ryan K. Spalding, I think it is, who I constantly
go out
power
top.
Online. He's the power gay. Basically, Ryan Spalding is a former failed comedian who now basically just puts out pro-Israel propaganda that he frames as comedy. And it is very transparently because of a sexual fetish that he has, not just for Jewish people, but specifically.
I'm sorry. If you're going to make this accusation, we need to put a clip in.
We're throwing one up right now.
When you're a power gay in Israel, you take your mission seriously. Because when you have big, strong IDF soldiers like this, you need to commend them and support them. You big, manly, sexy heroes. Each and every one of you. The whole Western world thanks you. We love you. Saving Western civilization and this holy Jewish nation.
So that is him with IDF soldiers talking about how great they are, not because they're on some holy mission from God, but because they are sexy. Ryan Spalding is obsessed not only with Jewish men, but with Mizrahi Jewish men. And he has turned that into a career as a propagandist where he is literally going out there with soldiers and making videos about how hot the soldiers are. Now, this guy obviously is the type of online pro-Israel advocate who calls me a capo, the type of Jew who would have ratted out other Jews to the Nazis. Now, I get called a capo all the time by pro-Israel people who never say a fucking thing about the ICE raids. And I think it's so funny to suggest that I would be ratting people out to the Nazis while you are completely silent on ICE disappearing people to El Salvador.
Are you a Mizrahi?
I'm Ashkenazi.
I'm just trying to understand the dynamics of this online feud.
So Spalding is very funny. He likes to gatekeep Judaism. You're only a Jew if you're a Zionist. Mind you, he is not Jewish. He is a goy, as they are called. But this is the point that I'm making about the Nelk Boys and about everything. The pro-Israel world, not the Israel should be allowed to not get terrored world. That's a different world. The Israel should be allowed to do whatever they want with zero recriminations world on the internet is so out of support and out of allies that they don't care who you are. They don't care what your behaviors are. They don't care what kind of moral character you display. If you are saying Israel should be allowed to do whatever it wants and we should pay for it, they'll take you in. They don't care that Spalding's videos are not only unfunny and cringe, but also fetishistic of Mizrahi Jews. He says that Israel should be allowed to do whatever it wants with no consequences. So they treat him like he's a hero. He's the real Jew, not me, who's literally got this shit coded in my DNA. And that's what you see with Netanyahu and the Nelk Boys. People don't want to talk to Netanyahu. Netanyahu is an internationally wanted war criminal.
I mean, I think legitimate journalists would do podcasts with Netanyahu. It's just that he doesn't have to. I mean, it's not like Michael Barbaro would not accept it, or Ezra Klein wouldn't accept an interview with Netanyahu, or whoever you want to name. Christian, like you could just name any. If he wants to do a podcast or a YouTube show, he'd be welcome to. I'm sure that Ben Rhodes and Tommy Vitor would interview him on Pod Save the World. Like but he's not. Like, this is the point, because he can get around these people and go on these fucking morons podcasts who have a show that built an audience based on fucking like crude jokes and like being funny and irreverent and whatever, like fucking around, just dudes being dudes. And that's fine. But it's like, you can't, like, transitioning from that into like serious geopolitical interviews is bullshit. And Bibi is using them, because not because nobody else will talk to him, but because he knows that they will not ask him anything hard.
Well, look, it's important to note that not only is Bibi Netanyahu very hated around the civilized world, Bibi Netanyahu is also hated in the state of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu is not a popular person in the state of Israel. Mind you, the more he's able to fearmonger, the more power he is able to hold. But still, Israel's putting this guy on trial. Israel wants this guy to face the music for his crimes. So he's doing what Donald Trump did as a criminal to gain popularity that was super important to him, which is going on shit like the Nelk Boys. I'm sure Netanyahu's social media director was like, or honestly, maybe Donald Trump recommended it to him. Trump and Netanyahu are fucking best friends. Like, he saw that Trump was able to, after an insurrection and after all sorts of corruption and criminality that is key to Netanyahu's career, Trump was able to become president again. So he's probably just trying to follow the Trump model, the same way that so many Democratic politicians are trying to, be the Joe Rogan of the left by making weird fucking content for Instagram. So I see you, Netanyahu. I see you, Nelk Boys. You guys are fucking pussies. Like, you guys are racist and misogynist and homophobic and bigoted.
Well,
and
I
for
want to
that,
be invited on the Nelk Boys. Let's not start ruining this. I'm trying to build
you're
bridges.
not calling them pussies. I'm calling them pussies. And I'll go on the Nelk Boys if I can fight them. Like, if these guys could actually handle my smoke and
You want to get in a fist fight? You want to like get in a fit? Like, you want to like MMA? Like, throw down?
Yeah, no, guys like that. I don't care who's built like what. I don't care who weighs what. If you are that much of a fucking ideological coward, I can physically beat your ass. Nelk Boys, if you're watching this, bring me to the house. I will take you in the octagon.
I'm for that. Well, you kind of derailed us. I wanted to make fun of the far left protesters who decided to throw blood on AOC's office, because like that's really the way to make allies. Yeah, or fake blood paint. I don't know. It was red. They flew red. It was supposed to be the image was supposed to be that she has blood on her hands. Because I don't know, she's not
because she voted against the Marjorie Taylor Greene defund the Iron Dome
or something, and it's just like, guys, if you can't get this is not a path to winning political power. All right,
fucking Zohran Mamdani, who was like, I'm going to arrest Netanyahu if he comes to New York City, was getting shat on for not being anti-Israel enough. There was a video that went viral of some pro-Palestine protester yelling at Zohran for like basically taking the position that the state of Israel should not be immediately dissolved, and the fucking, what is it, like 10, 16 million people there, including like 8 million Jews, just get displaced in the Middle East. Like, Zohran took that radical position, and pro-Palestine protesters were like screaming at him for being a Zionist shill. And it's like, there's nothing that leftists on the internet hate more than somebody who is positive for their agenda.
Yeah. This is not winning friends and influencing people. All right. Okay. Well, that was a little bit more Israel talk than I signed up for, but the people of the Bulwark YouTube page have gotten a lot of Epstein and Trump talk. So, why not? I do have one more. It's kind of related, kind of tying the room together, if you will, because as I'm sitting here, my man Theo Von, also in the kind of Nelk Boys universe, was at the MMA fight in New Orleans this weekend. So I saw him out and about around town. Another person, funny, real world road rules, maybe, really does great interviews with celebrities. Not sure about his political acumen, but he's on our side on this one, boys. He has posted a tweet telling your man, Speaker Johnson, that he should call up for a vote the Ro Khanna Thomas Massey bill about releasing the Epstein files. So we are aligning the cranks back on our side. We're using the cranks for good. We're redirecting their content powers at Speaker Johnson. And I don't hate that. So whatever. We'll take it. It's a small win.
It's almost like running a political campaign on releasing the files that would reveal that you are a pedophile might not have been Trump's finest chess move yet, but I suppose we'll have to see.
See you, everybody.